Hi there, my beautiful people. This is Dr. Rosaline Sebolao coming to you once more from Home of Inspiration. Wow, it's a beautiful month in South Africa and the Free State, and it is Heritage Month. And today there was a better way of celebrating heritage with someone special in my life that has actually contributed so much to my life. And as you know, Home of Inspiration, we are about professional development and life coaching. So today we will be touching on important aspects, very significant aspects of professional development. And you might be inspired to say, wow, this is actually something that I've been needing in my life. So I have with me someone who authored the foreword in this book, Wisdom from the School of Life. And he did not just do that because he read the book only, but because he knows me from very early age. He actually taught me from sub A. So the gentleman that I'm with is Ntate Daniel Khothule. Daddy, can you greet my viewers?
Thank you for the opportunity, Rose. To the viewers and the people who read the book, good morning, people. God must strengthen you on this special day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, you know, it's amazing how we come a long way, and people might not believe that he still looks so good for a person who has taught me. And I mean, in 1978, that's many years ago. No, no, not before 1978, 1975. Yeah. 73 when I started in Welkom, actually. Yeah. So, guys, I'm with the man who became a teacher, a community worker, and a father to so many of us. And he's still my dad even today in this age. So I would like us to go back briefly to say he taught me your teaching from the education sector. How has it been?
Okay. Can I start to say, sorry, I started teaching on the farm.
Wow.
For about few months, February up to August. Mm-hmm. The farm that was called Himansvlakte in the Bothwell district. Okay. There was a school for the farm learners, and there was a school next to that school, Himansvlakte, that was for the white farmers' children. Mm-hmm. And myself and the principal, they became Mr. Malam. We became very close as friends. Mm-hmm. And I learned a lot from there. Unfortunately, I was involved in sports, and during the holidays on that year, 1969. Mm-hmm. Yes, 1969. Sure. Guys. I visited St. Helena, mm-hmm, as a soccer player with Mighty Swallows from Odendalsres, the primary where I schooled in Tusano, Odendalsres in Kukwano. And then the welfare officer, Mr. Mula, when we were playing, he saw me. Mm-hmm. And in the team, St. Helena team, there were guys I schooled with while I was still in Tabanchu. And unfortunately for them, they were defeated by the very same man. Yeah. So our team won the tournament, and they said, "Hey, we give you a post here." That is how I went to St. Helena, where in 1969, yes, 1969, I went to St. Helena. The school was a private school, mine private school. And I changed it to be a government school because of the benefits the learners from the government school were enjoying. And then that is where, when I started to work there, I met people like Rose, my daughter, the late poet Kwelem, all those, they were, the learners there, let me be honest with you, they were very bright. Sure. I don't know it is because of the environment where they were staying or not. And Rose was one of those that I taught science, mathematics, I remember. Science, mathematics in your class. And I remember it was yourself, Belinomi, Lingilingi.
They actually came after me, those.
Poet, Kwelemtini. Yes. Vikasana, Nomonde, all those.
Mapito, Masukela.
Anama Sukela. Mapito, Anama Sukela. Those are the learners that I still recall very well. And I remember your partnership, you were three. It was yourself, Pelinomi, and Linglingi. I put a statement. Tomorrow when I change you people would raise up a hand and say, no, yesterday you did not say that.
And maybe for people who don't know where St. Helena is, it's a mine in Welkom. So there's a village there. We lived as a family. It was a very small, we knew every member of each family. So it was a lovely environment that we grew up in.
That is where I met you, and I was enjoying what you people were doing to me, and it was putting me on my toes. My preparation had to be very thorough before I go there, because whatever method I change in mathematics, whatever I change, they will tell me, no, yesterday you had this.
Wow.
Let us take a chalk and show you what you did. But it is still the same. That is the other way. It is not that one.
And these are some of the things I might not remember as a young person, but the person who taught us remember. But I want to just highlight that he was not only an educator, but he, as I said, he was really a professional in a true sense of the word. I learned a lot of responsibilities from that age. I remember it. I don't know whether you remember that in class there would be that child who just before break would go and make tea for the teacher. So I was that. I remember very well. So I knew the time 5 minutes before I'd just leave the class and switch off the kettle for tea. And we knew how he loved it. And that was that. And maybe before we even go to the other important parts, the sports, the athletics. I was really lazy to run, and he made us run. So we really grew up in an environment where we had to play basketball, we had to run, we had to do a lot of things. Maybe you could just reflect on that.
Let me just say, as a sportsman and as an ex-professional soccer player, ex-national referee, some of the coaches that I did, let me say you were not lazy. It is only that you did not have that physique to run the way I wanted you people to run. It was not only you, even my daughter herself. I know I had to chase you behind you people, knowing that sports sharpens the minds. Sports also improves concentration. And then when you did that in the afternoon, tomorrow, when you come to the class, you people you are not aware, you were more sharper than the others.
That's so true.
That is what I had. And I was a qualified official, South African, timekeeping, track judging, and for the schools, SA schools, I was just officiating right through. If I have to come to that because you jump to the athletics, it happened that after leaving St. Helena, I must go to President State. The school called to Poloko. Whoa! They had a number of learners there also. We breed. I breed long distance runners, short distance runners, whereas in St. Helena, mostly I was having the field throws. the Anama Sukela you talk about was the national champ in discus and javelin. And you were having another one, elephant. Elephant also was a national champion shot put. South African schools. Now, when I came there, there were so many who could run, and grooming them was easy for me to an extent that I had Oliphant. Also, he became the 1,500 SA champ. I had David Menzies. David Menzies was 100 meters and 200 meters SA champ. I had who is this one now? I forgot. Spadal. It was a heavy boy. You could you give them the skill. They do it. So I was lucky to have that. The last one that I enjoyed mostly, soccer as a professional soccer player. I had a team of the under 12s that went to national. Unfortunately, they couldn't get position 1. They ended up position 3, but hey, they were good players. When you go to Free State Stars, you get a player like Pitso Mukwena, who was a defender. That's my problem.
Wow, I'm so
presently now, he is the developer at the Harmony Academy. He is developing that Harmony Academy. Peter, it's there. He has been luring me into Free State Stars, but because of the commitment, I couldn't. I had so many. My hands were full.
Wow, guys, you can hear that Ntate Khothule has really impacted the world, not just the small place where we come from. And I mean, sports is amazing. Athletics as well. If I just tell you that I just did not ignore it, but when I was a student, that's what I used to do. I would run every morning just to enjoy, activate my thinking and my physique. And that has been part, although I still walk long distances now. I mean, I walk up to 12 to 15 Ks, and that keeps me energized and healthy. It's because of this inspiration. Now, let's go back maybe to the education department. Your wealth.
The wealth of education, I had already highlighted the farm where I was.
Yes.
And the little that I had at St. Helena, changing it to be a government school. But the production there was good. The learners there, the achievement was good. And that prompted many people to try to take me away from St. Helena, but I said, this small community, I must develop it before I leave. And I did exactly that. Welkom also the same apart. Then I came to Dirisanani, also as a principal. In the interviews, I remember the SGB person was saying, I long told you to go and take this man. Then you tell me he is man a soccerist, he's a what? But look at what he is saying and look at what he has done. That is how I came into this. Now, in the education sector, I became in the teaching, there are teacher unions and all that. I became the deputy chairperson, NAPTOSA. But before I became that, I was a cultural chairperson where I was dealing with sports. The uniform, the music, the entertainment. Then they elected me as the deputy chairperson provincial. I was the education desk chairperson. Then I had to represent them in all sectors that was education. I remember in the Free State here on the MECs for education, I was a deputy chairperson. and then we had a committee that was called PETC, Provincial Education and Training Council, which was advisor to the MEC.
Wow.
MEC here,
yes.
You are faltering. MEC here, this is what we have to do. My chairperson was Professor Lochenberg.
Okay.
From the University of the Free State. We were partnering very well with him. And from there, I had to represent the very same teacher organization of Satan Aptosa in Pretoria also. They elected me also there as the deputy chairperson.
They had so much confidence in you. That's why you don't have rest even today.
And then we were dealing with professional matters.
Wow.
And conditions of service. So that prompted me to be so involved in education, because whatever we decide to change, we will change it this year. And then I apply it at my school. When the education people will apply it next year,
You've already passed
I've already passed it. And all the inspectors by then and the SMGDs, those who were very close to me, they benefited a lot.
Wow.
They would not come and tell me what to do. I can tell them what to do. And that was good, but the relationship was so warm. And the constitutions, the other things that we have to do at school, I was able to set that and for the other schools. Even the admin that I had at Risana here, she was a very good person. Oh, I was lucky because after the one I found there passed on, I had to go and recruit this one. Whoa, what a good person. She was able to train even the other admins of the other different schools. I allowed her to do that. So that when I come from the conference, I do, this is what is supposed to be done. And then that's what it goes. And then from there in the education sector, I even went to another course that was called Valued Citizens Program.
I remember it.
You know, that program came at the right time when the learners were misbehaving. And when people were dealing away, I'm becoming what now? When people were becoming, when the teachers.
Something. So we can pause.
No, don't pause.
Okay.
Don't pause.
Okay.
And when the learners were misbehaving, the program was so good. I was chosen as one of those who went to Joburg to go and see this. And when they came back, they came to further train us. And after training us, after getting the certificate, they said, you will be the presenter here in Lejolipucha and in Fezile for the management and the teachers. Go and train those teachers. And I don't want to lie. All the schools that were selected to be part of that, they produced.
Because values are very important.
Yeah, they produced, and the teacher became disciplined. School discipline was not their problem because of that. They did not have to worry about disciplining the learners with corporal punishment on that. But the tactics that they have, the techniques they acquired, they helped them a lot. But there was a difference between the educator values and the management values. We did not want to mix them, but if the management person wants to come in, we did not stop them. So that is what was happening, and that developed me inside. Morally, spiritually, mentally, physically, because I would go to work in the morning and then run about 1 or I must drive out.
Where you go again to,
to go and trade.
Sure.
And the department knew this time, on this day and this day and this day, he is here. Even some of the SMGDs, they attended. I remember they would sit there and listen and say, hey, is this what is happening? And unfortunately, the department in the Free State here did not buy that program. But in Gauteng, they bought it.
Sure.
And they were excelling also. That is why in the beginning, Gauteng was bidding the Free State. And then when came Tate, I remember Tate when he came, it is the time when I was growing up. He said, you're going nowhere.
Oh, wow.
You're going nowhere. I said, hey.
And that is why now the results have actually improved after that.
Yeah.
But it just tells, when we're talking professionalism, it just tells that there are certain values that really strengthen us and that make us, prosper in everything that we do. And I think these are the values that we are learning from you. And, even before maybe you touch on other professional issues, I want us to talk about your family. Because, I'll be 32 years in marriage in February. And when you look at these are the people that I look up to. Maybe just briefly about that.
Let me just say, I'm having 3 shows.
Yes.
The first one is the medical doctor. The second one, James, he is working at the bank together with the wife. The last one, he's a marketer, staying in Cape Town now. He has been jumping from
even abroad.
Even abroad she comes from. Now, my wife, we saw one another at Tabanchu, training as an educator. She did not teach long. She went for nursing. And then one day when I was going to play, because we had seen one another, she saw it in the newspaper called World. There was a paper called World and Post. Now, coming out of the ground at Orlando, here are the ladies. These ladies. Hey, Dan. Yo. That is how now we met again, and we continued until we got married in 1972. September 1972. She's a lady from Mohlaken, and we had that. And we have been living together. She didn't want to move over this way. She wanted me to go over that way. But because of the post I was having, I had already got a post that side. Even the team to go and play for. But I said, no, I can't leave the post. Please come over. And the parents influence also. You can't go to Gauteng. you know what was happening in Gauteng. That is what we are, and we have been living that life. At St. Helena there, Mrs. Fitzgerald made it possible that she got a post at provincial. That is where she started working, and then she worked there. Unfortunately for her, I had to take her for community nursing. Diploma in community nursing, Bloemfontein. And after that, she went back to nursing, continue. When they reopened this Goldfields Nursing College, they wanted people who possesses teaching certificate. She was one of those. And she was doing psychology. And what do we call this other one?
And sociology.
Sociology.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. Yes, and as you will know that.
Yeah.
Those were her subjects, and she was an HOD
Yeah.
there. Unfortunately, in 2000, she had to quit.
Okay.
Due to health.
Yes.
But it did not take long. After 6 months,
she went back again.
No, they wanted her to come and train the hospice.
Hospice, I remember.
Caregivers.
Lot told me that she worked with her.
Yeah. She came to work this. And we've been together. St. Helena, Pulukong, and in Welkom here, we have been here until this sudden death that she had. That is what we have. We have been here.
We thank God for her life, and I always tell people that for me to be a nurse, these are the first nurses I saw and I got inspired because, as I said, we lived in a small place. Yeah. Okay, Didi, back to you spoke about the value citizen. I think you were about to tell us about the F&B part.
F&B. Oh, yes.
The project, yes.
Yeah, while I was still going on with the sports and the others, presently, before I go to you, presently, I am dealing with older persons. Older persons, I started in the sports sector as the provincial chairperson, and then going with the provincial older persons sports. From there, the fora, social development, realized when we go to the national tournament, because October was the month, the national month for older persons. Like we would be at Botshabelo on the 28th, Tawanshu the 29th, and the 30th in the celebrations will be taken also in the 30th in
okay.
So these people, when they saw me, they said, no man, we are struggling in that side. We want you here. And somebody tricked me down there to say, we request you to attend our meeting. I attended the meeting. When I attended the meeting, they said, no, we are electing you as the Goldfields usually puts a chairperson. How when I'm a chairperson that side? They said, you do both. It went on like that, and then we went for the provincial elections. They said, no, you become a chairperson. Oh, immediately after becoming a chairperson, we went to the national, and the nationals were in Bloemfontein here. When we came here for election, they said, no, we want you as the chairperson for the South African Older Persons Forum. That is where I am, the positions I am now. But some of the people who were behind this are the people I was with in the national school sports. Even in choral choir competitions.
We should have mentioned that she sings very beautifully as well.
Yeah, so they said, we want you there. I said, all right, let's go and see. I'm still their national chairperson. I'm still their provincial chairperson. And on that, it is very good for the older people, although the life of the older people is at my heart, but it is distressing sometimes.
Yes.
Last week I was doing celebrations for 3 elderly people, 103. It was an old man there, but the conditions under which he's staying. I don't want to mention the other things that I did and the others, because they have put me at loggerheads with some of the officials. But I'm not going to leave it.
Yes.
And there was an old lady down there at the 2 rooms in Welkom here. And then the other one was in Wesselsbron. The Wesselsbron one, oh, I loved that one. The entire family was there.
Yes.
His children, his grandchildren, and the grand.
Wow.
It was a big thing for them.
Sure.
So we had a grocery for them. We had a cake, written 100 years, tree.
Wow.
And then we had that short ceremony. This side we took the superintendent of the church to do the opening. Down that side, they ran away. I had to act as a
Wow, but that's very inspiring, Daddy, because you see, I also love old people, and what worries me is that people, while they are still capable, they take care of us, they impact the communities like what you are doing. But when you guys grow older, you tend to be forgotten. And all people need is just time and care, just being with them. So I've seen the pictures that where you were doing those celebrations. I've listened to the videos, and I must say God is really doing a great work through you, and may He continue to do that.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Now, can I go to you?
Yes, the project.
It is just unfortunate that COVID-19 stopped a lot of activities that we had. Our plan was so clear in the province and national. I'm having an office in Bloemfontein. Charles Matlake there, up there. The national office is in Bloemfontein, but I mean in Pretoria. There is a coordinator there. Here I'm having 2. You saw those girls I showed you the other day. They are mending that office while I'm still here. Mine is just to forget. What are you doing? This one and this one. Right, now, let's leave that. There's a lot of things to go. EOFs. In EOFs, now the name of the doctor has gone. Dr. Piet. I got a phone. Mr. Khothule, we want you to interview.
Is it Piet van Aert?
I don't know, he's maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, he was doing with the projects. He was dealing with the projects. Not in the main campus, in the...
Oh, no. All right.
Maybe that side.
Else.
Yeah. Actually, he's my homeboy.
Oh.
He's my homeboy. Yeah, immediately I told him where I come from. He said, oh, I also hail from that place. Then we became closer. But the point was, he was just inquiring my whereabouts, what am I doing, and he did that immediately after stopping Valued Citizen. And he said, send me your CV, let me see what is happening here. I came across you in the archives.
Wow.
In Bloemfontein. I got your speech there and some of the things we're doing. How about coming to train the newly appointed principals and some of the schools that we think are performing below par? I said, with pleasure, I can come and give them the skill that I have. And he said to me, from your Department of Education, they told me you are one of those people he can rely on in developing some of these things. I said, okay, with pleasure. And the other thing that he got, I was representing the province Teachers Award.
Oh wow. Lifetime Achievement Award.
The other one, I don't know where it is. The Free State was 1.
Yes.
National was 3.
Sure.
And that one, I got that position because I was slamming Professor Kada Asman, I don't want to say Memutsecha also, for dismantling training colleges. That was my problem with them. I told them, here, you have killed education. He did not augur well with them. He did not augur well with them.
It is true.
Somebody came to whisper to me and say, you were supposed to be one of the good candidates. We don't know which position I'm going to give you. And I was not surprised when I was given that position. That is the national teachers. But I was on the lifetime achievement. Because I told them where I started, how I came here, and all those that I did.
Sure.
And they were just surprised. Just surprised. So now I was training principals. Yes. Just to say, you are the manager of the school. I'm just here to come and support you.
Exactly.
What is that you want to do? No, you can't do that thing. You must go here. This is the results for you. That one is not going to yield the results. I was assisting them to train their management team. I was assisting them to train their admin clerks. All the clerks, admissions, finances, and all that, to improve the finances.
Sure.
I was assisting them to train the factor terms and the cleaners. Their schools were clean.
Sure.
Oh.
Wow.
How you don't know how happy I am. You see, I still like gardening.
No, you're just telling us. But I know, I always tell them where we lived in Ntate Daniel that our yards were very clean. And up to now, I love working in my yard. It might not be as clean as I want it to be, as beautiful as I want, but this is where we grew up. We really love it.
Yeah, and I had to move out here because at one stage or the other, I will be taking the management of the school. But immediately I realized here, the SGB is a problem. I take it.
Yeah.
Where I realized here, the school is good, but there are elements in the teaching staff that is hampering the system. I take the whole staff. Yeah, I am having a meeting and I lecture them. I tell them what to do. And there was a system that we were using to improve the results. That one I loved more.
Wow.
Any educator who has ran behind the syllabus, I will assist him how to improve and how to catch up.
Wow.
And they would do it. There was a program that we were using to assist them how to catch up and how to let the children perform and how to assist the teachers. And some of them, they improved a lot to an extent that some of them, they became HODs, they became deputies, they became even principals in some other schools. That is what happened to these people. They were so motivated and they continued.
Wow.
That is what I could be saying in this program. Unfortunately, I had to run away because of SARS.
Okay.
SARS made me run away. It was killing.
Sure.
Immediately they see yours. They see a lot of challenge.
Oh my word.
You can imagine if you have to pay plus minus 60,000
to
SARS at the end of the year. I even tried to raise the monthly contribution so that I reduced the icon. Then I said bye-bye. And I left.
Wow. I mean, I've always been inspired. I've always been close to you, but I'm sure our viewers as well are inspired by your life. And I think I'm happy that I'm able to record this and share this while you're still alive, because it would be difficult to tell you my viewers and everybody else to say there was once Mr. Khothule who did this, but the people that you have impacted will always, with their lives, they are telling a story about you. And we just want to honor you with this, to say, as we celebrate heritage in South Africa, we think of people like you who were dedicated to their work. He's such an organizer. When I came here to record, he already organized things. So he is an organizer. He's very professional in everything, in her family life, in an individual life. And that's what we call professionalism. And I remember you at some point, we were just chatting informally, and you said, respect is very important. And if you don't have self-respect, you will not be able to respect other people. And I think that is why we are able to respect you today, because you respected yourself. We've looked at you and you would not drink alcohol. You just dedicated your life to taking care of yourself, your family, and the people around you, and the world.
Yeah, can I come?
Yes.
You spoke about drinking.
Okay.
Do you know that your late father saved me?
Oh.
When I was at St. Helena, we went to Randfontein Mohlaking for a funeral with the family.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came back, I could realize in the yard there was a hole, the round hole there. Something was taken out.
Wow.
Somebody had planted. You remember in the villages we
Yes.
were not supposed to have liquor.
Yes.
Somebody had planted that.
Oh my word.
And then he took it out to your father. And your father, you know, was head of that.
Yes.
He said, now here you have planted. Yeah. This man does not drink. Does not even drink. And
wow.
that issue of not drinking assisted me a lot. Let me tell you, it assisted me a lot.
Sure.
All my friends I was associating with them, they were not the drinkers. We were fortunate. While I was still living at school, because we talk of this, there was refresher courses that were done for us to come and refresh the others. You see, we had people like Ntate Marupelo, the late Ntate Sulana. Ntate Marupelo is still there. We were teaching the same subjects. He was at Western only. We were teaching the very same subject. We would sit down together, plan for the year together. And when we do refresher courses in the district, we were chosen to make refresher courses in the district with him, starting from Hoopstad up to Ventersbeek. He would do this, I would do this. He would do this, I would do this. When we put them, I love that one. when we put them in the class, these people, we would tell them, at one stage or the other, you shall have to change your seat and look this way. I'm preparing this side, he's talking. Okay. When he finishes, I say, change your seats. I'm ready there.
Wow. Oh, those are the strategies.
I enjoy education.
How I pray that we have educators like you who can say, I enjoy what I do. Because the reason why we have challenges these days is because people are just there because of money.
Yeah.
So I think maybe what we are learning from you today and you know, with you, my viewers, is that as you talk to yourself and analyze yourself, ask yourself, do I love what I'm doing? So that you can realize that it will take you far. Yeah. Just have passion, have love for that, and respect yourself. And I think that's basically what I'm taking from this session. And I feel so happy. And one thing that when you spoke about my father, I remember he is an entrepreneur, although he doesn't highlight that, because In those years, in my teenage years, he was already selling golden products.
Oh, yes. Oh,
and
I
he
love
used
that.
to, because he identified the health needs in the families, and he used to sell that to my parents. So I always say you kept them healthy in spite of other, habits that they had, but you kept them healthy with the products that you were giving them. And I know that they would not pay you cash immediately. You would have to come and collect. Yeah. So you were actually a social entrepreneur because you were helping people in this community, whether they paid you or not.
Yeah, I'll come later.
Not important, yes. So Ntate Khothule, thank you very much. And I brought you this coffee mug because I always say where I go is as home of inspiration. We share the wisdom from the book. These are the people that I share with. So I always want to say, as you drink your tea or your coffee, and I'm sure from now you're going to reduce the coffee as we spoke, just remember home of inspiration and the wisdom that you've shared with us. I appreciate you. I honor you for all the things that you've done, not only for me, but for the whole world.
Yeah, let me say, when I conclude all what we have done, thank you very much. Immediately you say you want to talk to me, I said, man, they are coming, she's coming with something like it. She must not hook me to something.
No.
Because they all started this way, and in the end I'm deep into this thing. But at any rate, you're not aware, I follow the learners and the student I had, because at one stage or the other I was offering communication and management intercourse.
Wow.
In UCT here. I follow my students and all that. You are one of those that I follow. You remember when we met you in Bloemfontein?
Yes.
You were not aware that we are coming to leave. I don't want to go there.
That's a book I'm going to write about. They will read about that story. I told my children about it.
Yeah, and thank you very much for this.
Yes.
It has sort of made me aware of the documents that I have in this house.
Sure.
That some other people said has impacted them. And those who want that, I usually say take, go and photocopy.
Yes.
So with you also, I'm wishing you very well.
Thank you.
Let God Almighty protect you. The inspiration that I have realized you have, you might have met Dr. Sebolao.
Yes, I remember you told me about her at CUT. I just not remember.
She spoke very well about you. Let me tell you, she spoke very well about you. Then I said, I was expecting that. That's my problem. But thank you. May God bless your family.
Thank you.
And the people you interact with, and keep you humble as I know.
Thank you.
Please keep that, don't change.
Thank you very much.
But what I would request you to do, transfer a little bit of that to your biological child.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm quite aware you have influenced Oli. He's got a book that I also love.
Okay.
That is why it stays in my car. Whenever I have visited somewhere, I feel I'm lonely.
You read the book. Thank you very much.
Yours stays here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And the person recording, who's the lady?
Ntate Kazi.
Ntate Kazi.
Yes.
Ntate Kazi. Thank you. But you remember, now by nature, because it's the cultural day, ko re tswang teng gare he ba tle ba re ka hela jang re se banyana batho ba ba dikonkwane ba re thamaga ye o tla e ja le mang o tla e ja le mmaedi ko lapeng ke kwena.
Thank you so much for taking time to interact with this video. I wish you all the best as you celebrate this Heritage Month and many other days to come. Please remember, if you don't have a copy of this book, remember that you can send an email to rasabuya3@gmail.com, or you can actually, check me on Facebook. I'm Rosaline Sebolao there. But also subscribe to this video, like, and share, or even comment. Remember, I said your comments are actually very helpful to us. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Daddy.
you,
This was
man.
beautiful.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Thank you.